y'all morning going so far, man? Let me know what city y'all in right now, man. It's a beautiful day in Texas, not gonna lie, man. Um, Today's video is about Ebony K. Williams and Stephen A. Smith breaking down like different caliber of women when they like looks wise, but it really all boils down to their attitude. But the more higher up on the quote unquote rating scale, it's subjective, the more attitude they would have. So, man, let's get it, bro.
You brought up the black family before I let you get on out of here. I made a suggestion that I thought would help the black family in the years.
I love this.
And it's not just the black family; it's families all over the place. We were talking about men and women, and
for those who don't know who Ebony K. Williams is, she is one of the ladies that went viral. Would you date a bus driver? Her mom's a bus driver, so I forgot the lady's name that interviewed her. She asked Ebony, would you date a bus driver? And you know what she said? If he owns the bus. So what that means? She's too good for the bus driver. She's one of those. But, she's kind of, I'm not saying she kind of like regrets saying that, but now she's more hitting that wall and finding out guys really don't want her, yada, yada, yada. And when I mean want her, I mean more than sexual, because we all know you can go get anybody to do that with you. You know what I'm saying? It's more about you're desired, but are you wifeable? And would you be wifed by the caliber of man that you want and the man you think you deserve and perceive? So, yeah, man, let's get it.
somebody asked me a question, and I brought up a strong 7. And I said, if you're a man out there and you want to be happy, you want a strong 7. The 10, no, she's a 10. It's too much drama. Okay, the 9 thinks she's a 10. That's too much drama. The 8 already knows that she's probably a 9, so even though it's not as much drama, it's still going to cause you some issues. But the 7, the strong 7, knows that she's beautiful enough, she's smart enough, she brings enough to the table, but in the same breath, her ego is not out of control to the point where it will force your ego to infiltrate the proceedings and nothing gets accomplished. That was my argument for a strong 7. Ebony K. Williams, was I correct in my assessment?
Where's it? I vehemently agree with the strong 7 argument.
But you vehemently what?
I vehemently agree.
Agree.
That the strong 7 is best positioned. I'll go further. She's best positioned, Stephen A., to partner with the I don't want to say average. People get mad when I say average or mediocre. They get real mad.
Yeah, I got you.
Hold on. I want to break that average stuff down, right? As to if every woman thinks she's a 10, every woman thinks she's a baddie, she's a perfect, she's a queen, whatever. Wouldn't that be the average if every woman think that they are something everyone is? Because y'all got to think about what the word average means. They think that's a bad word, bro. They think that's a bad word. You make average money. You got average looks. You do an average lifestyle. If everybody's doing the same thing, living the same way, that's what average means. So when it comes to looks, she's subjected to her looks and stuff like that, right? If you think you a 10 and a girl down the street thinks she's a 10 and everybody online, all the women online say, oh, I'm a 10. If the 10 is everybody, wouldn't that be average for everybody? Come on now. Let's get back to the video.
She's best positioned to partner with the majority of available. How about that? The majority of available men. And it's for all the reasons you said. And I actually identified this in my early 20s, like coming out of law school. And I realized that some of the things that myself and my female counterparts were priding ourselves on, being really, really well educated, being very well accomplished, being pretty, but like pretty in a way that society deems is particularly valuable, because we know there's actual pretty and then there's kind of marketability, if you will, the kind of objective standard. And those things really just did not translate on the dating marketplace. And imagine how perplexed some of us were. But I said to my girlfriends long ago, I said, y'all, all of this 9s and 10s, we might be in that space, even 8s. It's not going to serve us the competitive advantage when it relates to our sisters, who I'm even going to say 6 and 7s. Why? Because you got to really look at what the market, and we're talking about, and this is through a hetero lens, of course, this is what men want. What do men really want, Stephen A? I'm going to say some things, and I want you to confirm or deny.
Sure. I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you.
I really invite that.
I'm ready.
I think men want to.
And you've been through 2 divorces, one with a black guy, one with a white guy. Now you're 40-something, you're an attorney, you're in your degree, you're in your career. Like, you should know what a man wants. If you're like in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you should know what a man wants. But we know women don't have to put in that effort to get a man and obtain a man. They don't have to do that. So, of course, men have to know what women want subjectively. So now, let's see if she knows.
Affirmed. I think men want energy that is agreeable. I think men want, generally speaking.
Yes.
This is all general.
Generally speaking,
I think men want women who are available. And what I mean by that is their schedules, their literal schedules. When I pull out my phone and you pull out yours, it's not 3 weeks.
Oh, we're not taking this ain't Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. You're not putting us on the waiting list and we wait. Oh, we don't need you. We don't need you. Oh, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. No, you're absolutely right.
So some of these are the things that men are most desirous of. And no, you can't be so unattractive that you get kicked out the bed, let's be clear.
Right.
But as long as you said it, pretty enough, attractive enough, those other things are going to supersede in terms of what the man wants. Now, I will say this is sorry, I'm just going to give myself 8 and above. I'm going to just do that.
You should.
I'm going to just do that.
I co-sign that.
Okay.
I co-sign that.
Okay. I believe that I'll speak for myself. I am acutely aware, Stephen A., of the adjustments that I would need to make.
She said be available and agree. Okay, we'll grant her that, right? You have to be physically attractive, fit, friendly, and submissive. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. Rest in peace to my dude, man. Gone way too soon when we needed needed him the most. I can't talk. If a guy has to settle for a girl that maybe she look good, but she's overweight. Come on now. 80% of black women are overweight. And it comes to different races, not saying they're not overweight. They got bad attitudes, bro. So at the end of the day, if you're not giving a man what he wants, why do you think you deserve a man that you want if you can't give him what he wants? And she says she's an 8 and above. So let's go back to the original video, the very beginning of the video, when he said, stay away from those 8s because they think they're a 9 and they attitude. So at the end of the day, if you got a bad attitude, baby, you're not attractive. I'm sorry. You could be the most baddest thing in the world. If your morals aren't in line and your attitude is stuck up and you got this stank attitude, you can't even talk to you. You're not pleasing or pleasant to be around. Why would I want to be around you if you're not nice, you're not friendly, you're not kind-hearted, you're not nothing. You treat your friends like they're cool, but when it comes to me and them different men, or a man that pays for you, quote unquote, pays for you, you're not even, you know what I'm saying? You give him the bad end of the stick. You put him on a back burner. You treat him like he ain't ish. Man, come on, man. Let's get back to the video. It's just crazy, bro.
In order to be more desirable on the dating market.
Well, may I ask what are those adjustments?
Oh, well,
I'm just asking. You brought it up.
I did.
You did say
it would be some of the things we mentioned, right? Like right. I would need to make more time. I can imagine what your schedule looks like.
Right.
Mine might not look. It doesn't look identical, but it's probably not far off at this point. I tape a show on the West Coast. Last time I saw you, where were we?
Yeah,
in the air.
Flying back from
LA.
LA.
We were literally in
flying
the
back
air.
From LA.
We were 30,000 feet in the air.
That's right.
So there's a bi-coastal lifestyle issue that I think would need some attention if I was to really get serious about trying to partner right now. There is an intensity that I'm a very serious-minded woman, right? I deal with serious issues on a
you can't be
daily
with
basis.
a dingbat can't be with you. It ain't gonna work. He got to have some level of intellect. He don't have a chance.
I mean, and honestly, even if I wanted to give him a chance, which I have done historically, don't tell nobody. I really wouldn't be as attracted. There's something about the attraction. You know, if you, there's a primalness to, you know, especially when we talk about heterosexual men and women, there's a primalness to how we are attracted to one another. And in order for me, who still very much, despite my intensity and my intellect and all this, you know, kind of what we would consider masculine alpha shit, right? Excuse me, I don't know if I can cuss on here.
You can.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm still very, you've known me for a long time. You've known me almost 10 years, Stephen A. I am still very much very feminine, very soft in many ways, and I'm still like a Southern belle in a lot of capacities. I'm born and raised in North Carolina. Let's go. So those things still, that receptacle energy is still very real for me. So now I need a masculine energy that can just almost overperform.
And you know what it is too?
She said overperform, bro. All the words she said, you gotta be the man and lead, and you gotta be hyper masculine and put her in her place. All those words she said, women are good with words, bro, but at the end of the day, you gotta keep it simple, bro. You gotta be overly masculine and be in charge, and you gotta do too much, bro. And you gotta be intellectual, bro. She want a man. She don't want a man. She want God, bro. She definitely want God, bro. Come on now.
Say this right.
Go ahead.
Women need to know this. Women need to know this. Okay.
So.
All right. First of all,
You telling me everything she said, I just need more time for a man. Notice how she really ain't say anything about herself. If you don't believe me, go back. She ain't say anything about herself, like her attitude. Like, oh, I'm still soft. That lady is not soft. She's not feminine, bro. Come on now. That's a masculine lady, bro.
gotta allow a man to be a man. Here's what I mean by that.
Please.
You have a lot of women out there who don't want to be quote unquote objectified. You don't want a man looking at you and he desires what he sees. That's just what they say, a lot of
That's
them.
what they say.
That's what they say. And I'm going like this. So you want him not to desire what he's looking at when he looks at you? What kind of sense does that make? And not only that, don't get me wrong, he don't need to be classless. He don't need to approach you and be too forward.
Let me just be clear, whoever's listening, that's not my issue.
Right.
You know this about
That's
me, I
right.
think.
Yes, I do.
I'm a pageant queen, for God's sakes.
Right.
I pride myself on one of the things, in fact, there are also men, since we're going to do this, that pretty stuff don't mean that much to them.
Right.
It just don't. It's like you say, pretty enough, that's fine. If you are a man that average to a slightly above average aesthetic works for you, I am not your woman.
Right.
I'm not. Because I am for a man who values probably 9 out of 10 times when we walk into the room, you've probably got the prettiest lady on your arm. Yeah. And that doesn't mean
But
something.
you can pull that off.
Right.
I can't hold most women accountable for that because most of them can't pull it off like that.
I understand. And those are but you asked me what adjustments would I make?
Right.
Those are some of the adjustments. I would consider men, because I know that's one of my, it's like cards. You know your strong suit.
Right.
That's one of my strong suits.
But where I was going was this. I wasn't just talking about, I didn't mean objectified in a literal sense. I'm talking about you being a guy.
Yeah.
You coveting what you see. You wanting to be turned on by your significant other. You wanting to feel as if you're married, but you want to feel like you felt when you were dating. You don't want to feel like monotony and mundaneness is kicked in and you're just going through the regular rigmarole of life and it's devoid of excitement, suspense, intrigue, or whatever word might be appropriate in that regard.
It better be you, because if it's not you,
it's going to be
somebody else. Yeah, so I think that is an issue on its own, and that's on an island. I think for more women like myself and how I'm describing these 8s and above, we got that part, most of us, in terms of we're going to make you, that attraction piece is something that we're going to put energy into, because we know that's.
Y'all think Ebony Care 8, bro? Let me know in the comments. Y'all think she an 8?
How we got you.
Right.
Okay. I think it's the intensity. I think it's the constant. Okay. One of the best things I think about me, Stephen A., as a friend, as a romantic partner, as a daughter, even to my mother. If you are interested in being the very best version of yourself, I'm a very good person to have in your life.
Yes. Because you'll push her.
I'm a push you.
You'll push her.
I'm a push you.
Right.
everybody don't like to be pushed. And I don't think in the romantic context, I've learned in real time that it is super appreciated from your romantic partner.
But the other part to that is knowing when. Like, for
Yeah,
example,
you're right. Okay.
you got to know, because as a man, what we value is when you know us and we don't have to tell you. You've been around us long enough. You figured us out. You didn't just spend moments enjoying us. You actually studied us, got to know us, have a mastering of us to some degree where we don't have to tell you. You know, you know when we want to go out. You know when we're not interested in going out. You know when we want to get down. You know when we don't want to. You have an idea of who he is without him having to tell you, because it tells him you've paid attention to what works for him, which elevates his level of faith in you that you will ultimately figure things out and y'all will flow along more smoothly than not.
I love that. And I think that most women need to spend more time with that figuring out piece. And I would also declare, Brother Stephen A. Smith, that the chief complaint that I know I felt in my relationship, because this is the problem. I've never had a problem attracting men. I believe you believe that.
I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that.
What I find has happened historically is that men are very attracted, not just to the aesthetic, but also even to, we'll call it the resume, right? They like what it looks like, what it presents like. And then they actually get to know me. And they realize they actually are fans,
right.
if I can just be totally honest with you.
Okay.
They're fans. They respect it. They look up to it. Oftentimes it's something they find aspirational, but they don't really know how to engage in it on a daily basis.
But you know why that is, right?
Please tell me.
Because you're not a fool. Your level of intellect, your principled position.
That's it right there.
The combination of the two things. There's certain things dudes just ain't getting away with. And if you run across a woman that it is clear as day, you got no shot at getting away with the nonsense, you're like, damn. Path of easiest resistance. More men than not all men, but more men than not,
I think that's
will
right.
take a path of easiest resistance.
And I don't fault them. That's why what you don't hear me doing is being on these YouTube streets and Instagram streets complaining about it. I recognize that because I choose that principal position, and this is the same ailment, if you will, Stephen A., that I suffer professionally.
Right.
You know, there's shows.
Well, she ain't talking about nothing for the rest of the little 30 seconds, but man, shout out to Stephen A. Smith, even though, shout out to her as well, Ebony K. Williams, shout out to both of them. Man, at the end of the day, bro, even if you can't be fooled, whatever, the intent is still there before the physical approach is there. So if I look at her and I'm already in the back of my mind 2 minutes, 5 minutes in, you know if you're going to wife her, take her serious, or even just want to sleep around with her. You're going to know off rip. So it doesn't really matter what you think or what you think you can do to a man or for a man. You can attract a man. Of course, everybody can attract whoever, but it's about the intent. If it's longevity, or you desirable, or it's just sexual. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what she thinks. It's about what she can get from a man and what can a man offer to her. And what can a man... vice versa, right? So as in that is always an intent, bro. You can be desired by anybody. It doesn't matter. Is that person gonna take you serious though? That's the real question. That's the real question. Men probably approach her and then they'll talk to her like, it's a little bit too much. Or even before they get to know her, they probably already got in their mind, all right, it's just gonna be that. But like I said, man, if you're talking to these women and they already think that it is, and you can't, they're not going to be willing to listen or learn because they think they know it all. Especially in our generation. Let's take it away from Ebony K. So she's older, she's more wiser. She understands the attitude is a problem. She understands the attitude and your mouth gets you in trouble. So when we're younger, we probably didn't understand that. But now you're thinking like, all right, your attitude, what you say, how you say it, your tone would get you into some altercations that you probably are not ready for, or you probably didn't want to get into. At the end of the day, bro, if a woman isn't reciprocating any type of energy towards you and your action, and she just want to use you and never want to put into the pot of what y'all got going on, and if she's never want to reciprocate what you want, as in, you know what, and she don't want to give you that, bro, why you keep trying to pander to her, bro? Stop doing stuff for these women who don't like you. So at the end of the story, bro, deal with the